Good morning, sports investors. You're listening to the Sports Advisors, the nation's #1 sports investment firm. I'm your host, three-time Las Vegas Sporting News handicapping champion. I'm Jerry Hendel. I'm joined in the studio by Bobby Edwards. Bobby is our big underdog specialist and Big East specialist in the college basketball. He's absolutely on fire with his underdogs, and we're going to hear from Bobby in a little bit. But before we get to our show, this is February 6th. It's our Super Bowl weekend show, and we have a lot of specials, so stay tuned. One of them is we're going to give away 4 free winners to all callers. Just for caller, you're going to get the winner of 3 basketball games for today. Kansas, TCU, Cincinnati, Memphis, Stanford, California. If you're one of the first 100 callers, you're going to get Bobby's NBA Game of the Week, the Thunder Warriors. That's 4-0, absolutely free. The phone call's even free. Call us right now at 1-888-484-G-MAN. That's 1-888-484-4626. 888-484-G-MAN is the number. 4 free winners for today and tomorrow. And also, being that it's Super Bowl weekend, we got a couple of nice specials for you. We're going to run the $80,000 bankroll special. If you have as little as $500 to play with, we'll make you 7 times your money this week, 8 times your money, actually. 500 will translate it to 4,000. We'll teach you a little bit more about our $80,000 bankroll games a little later. But if you want to turn 500 into 4,000 or even 10 into 80, the bankroll games, all you got to do is use code 777 when you call. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe. We'll get you on the bankroll games. Code 777 for the $80,000 bankroll games when you call in at 888-484-G-MAN. We also got the normal $3.99 special for a month of basketball, and the football game in total will be free. The Super Bowl over and under parlay will be for free if you buy a $3.99 special for the month. And last but not least, if you want to just try us out for this weekend, we got a $99 special just for this weekend. So if you want to make some money this weekend, and that includes the game and the over-under for the Super Bowl, call us up and ask the girl for the $99 special, and we'll get you on the Super Bowl game in total. We've won 6 out of our last 7 straight years, and you'll get some basketball this weekend as well. And you can dip your feet in the water and test the waters. I'm sure you'll be to the liking. $99 for the weekend. But, folks, it's important that you call us any reason, even for the free games. 888-484-G-MAN. It's February 6th. Bobby, people are getting their tax checks back as we speak. I mean, how many people in the last years have put, $4,000 or $5,000 they get back for their taxes and turned that into 40, 50, or even $100,000?
No, it's just want to say hello to our fans out there. Phones have been ringing off the hook. It's Super Bowl weekend, pumped up. People are excited. It's the biggest, betting game of the year.
Speaking of,
we got some great, we got great stats on this, which we're going to talk about throughout the show. But since I've already opened up that door, let's walk through it. $4.2 billion will be wagered tomorrow alone just on Super Bowl 50, up 8% according to the American Gaming Association of last year. So that's a pretty big number if you think about it.
It's recession-proof.
Yeah, gambling is definitely recession-proof. While we're on this,
on $4 billion.
You got $149 billion was wagered in 2015. That's up $5 billion to be exact, give or take a few bill, but it's up about $5 billion over 2014. So if 2014 had $144 billion wagered on sports, that's legally where they can actually document it. This year, last year, $149 billion. So let's say 2016, it goes up $5 or $6 billion more. Over $150 billion is just wagered in a year.
And legally. I guarantee you, Bobby, illegally is probably more than that.
Yeah, we're not talking about the local bookies. We're not talking about offshore.
We're just talking Vegas.
We're talking about money that can be documented in the state of Nevada. All right, they can, pretty much get it to within a few thousand or a few 100,000 when you're talking about billions. But we're talking about a lot of money is being wagered on sports betting. And again, we know
we just want to take a little piece of that pie.
Without a doubt. And not only that, Jerry, but just looking at and talking to the casino owners that we know, sports betting really doesn't account for much of the take as far as the big pie, as far as any one casino.
Yeah, sure. Right? That's why they put them all the way in the back, the casinos,
right.
the sports
you
books.
talk to the owner of the Caesars Palace and you talk to the sports book manager, he's going to tell you that, maybe if Caesars Palace does $5 million a weekend on everything, 500 grand is sports betting,
Maybe,
and that's
if
probably
that.
and that's 10%,
probably inflated.
and that's probably inflated also. So it's not big as far as Vegas goes, but we know in every corner of this country, everyone is betting on sports. Whether it's your father-in-law, your father, your brother, your uncle, everybody that I know knows somebody who's gambling on sports, especially the Super Bowl. I mean, everyone bets the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, and
that's like everybody bets the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont. But Super Bowl tomorrow, everybody's going to bet. People who don't ever bet, they're going to have some action on this, whether it's $5 bet with their neighbor, whether it's an office pool, and then we know March Madness is a pretty close second, but March Madness actually encompasses a month. Even though the NCAA tournament's really only 2 weeks, March Madness is a whole month of tournaments leading up to the final 65 teams it is now. So, the bottom line, folks, Super Bowl weekend. We're going to start today with some great college basketball. I might even throw in an NBA underdog tonight. So if you're interested in making money, not only on the Super Bowl, and Jerry's going to get to what the programs are for the week, what packages, how much it's going to cost. It's nothing compared to what you can make, with a small amount of money. So you can really take a small amount of money and turn it into a large amount of money, not only by betting the Super Bowl, but by getting involved and betting on sports, which millions of people are doing. Jerry, what are we doing? We're slicing into 0.0001% of the people that actually sit and bet games, whether it's online, whether it's in the state of Nevada, whether it's with local bookies, which we all know is illegal, but it's been going on as long as prostitution. So, can we talk about it?
The oldest profession.
We're not going to spend 52 minutes talking about bookmaking, although it is legal in England. You could be a bookie in England. It's a really old profession in England. They used to bet on rugby and their form of football, which we know is soccer. So 888-484-4626. We could talk about sports betting. We could talk about politics if you want. But the bottom line is, when you call us, be prepared to give yourself an opportunity to make money.
Yeah, and also, listen, folks, as Bobby just said, $140-something billion was bet legally on sports. 149. Probably at least that was bet on illegally, too. So, folks, all we're looking to do is take a little piece of that pie. You're going to go from the 98% that lose every week to the 2% that win. And there's plenty of money. Vegas is loaded. I've never walked up to the sports book in Vegas with a ticket, and they've told me they don't have enough money to pay me. Trust me, Vegas is putting that whole place together based on the backs of people that bet on sports. And folks, if you think you could do it on your own, you can't. Our preparation reduces your risk. This is what we do for a living. You guys all work very hard for your money, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Don't throw it away on something that you know nothing about. Let our preparation reduce your risk. Give us a call. Let us show you how to make some money. The last 6 out of 7 years, we've hit the Super Bowl parlay. Last year, we got a little lucky to hit it, but hey, we hit it again. We will make you money, but you got to call us. We can't make you money unless you call us. And another thing, Bobby, one of my customers a couple of weeks ago said to me, Jerry, football is over. And I said, really? Football's over? What about basketball? I don't really like basketball. Bobby, what do you think a bookmaker will let you bet $40,000 or $50,000 on an NFL game? And on a college basketball, you're lucky you get $4,000 or $5,000 with the game, because they're deathly afraid of college basketball. Folks, college basketball, with our information that we have on these games, you could actually destroy your man or your bookie or whoever you're betting through. You can destroy him with our information. So don't think that you don't make the most amount of money in basketball, because in football you got games on Saturday and Sunday. The bookies got all week to adjust their lines if they do make a mistake on a game, because the lines come out a week in advance on football. On basketball, the lines come out the day of the games. So you really don't have the bookies, when they make a mistake on a game, they can't raise the line that much because they're making the line on the day of the game. So again, these are little things that can help you make money. If you listen to us, you can't help but make money. Stockbrokers, they don't care whether you make money. I'm sure they deep down want you to make money, but if you make money or lose money on a stock, they still get their commission. All right, we get paid based on winning. Our interest is with our customers' interest, because the more we make for you, the more we make for ourselves. So you have to follow us and listen to us, and we'll show you how to make some money at this. 888-484-4626. 888-484-G-Man. And what do you think? Should we explain the $80,000 bankroll games, Bobby?
Yeah, you're on a roll, Jerry. Knock it out of the box.
Let me do that. Folks, the $80,000 bankroll games, in case you haven't listened to us before, they're simply our best information games. Those are the games that we put the most stock in, so to speak. These are the games that only the top guys get because they are the most expensive. I mean, these games cost us a lot of money to go out and get the information. Even though you have the web and you could look a lot of stuff up now, there's a lot that goes into this. And, we find out, who got injured the night before in practice, or whose flight got in late because of weather and they didn't get any sleep last night. All sorts of stuff that we get. Alumni games, Vegas trap games. This is all the information that we get. So the $80,000 bankroll games are basically a way to make 8 times your money in a short amount of time. And basically, you needed to have $10,000 to get in on these games back in the day. We started this program in 1992, I believe it was. And initially, you would take $10,000 and bet it on the first game. After that game wins, you have $20,000 in your account. So we wait for the next big play to come. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the same day. Could be a day later, a week later, whatever. And then you would double your money up again on the next big play. You would go 20 to 40. And then now you would have $40,000 in your account. And then the third game, you would go 40 to 80. So what you've essentially done is turn $10,000 into $80,000. That's why we call them the $80,000 bankroll games. We do a smaller package, $5,000 to $40,000. We went down as low as $2,500. And then this past year, we've made a lot of people a lot of money. We've had a $1,000 one to $8,000. And now this weekend we're doing $500. It is absolutely the last weekend because once February and March hits, we're too busy to do this. So it's the last weekend of the $500 special. You turn $500 into $4,000 in one weekend. If you want to do that, give us a call, 888-484-G-MAN, 888-484-4626. Use code 777, and you'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe, and we'll get you involved in the bankroll games. And I think that's the best program for everybody. That's Stephanie's program. A lot of people are on that program, Bobby.
Jerry, let me add something to that. I mean, the biggest and the best reason for people to come in on the 80K package is what I think is the best part is the fact that it's not only the game that you like, but it's also what you like, what I like, what Joe likes, and about 5 other handicappers that are all qualified to have their own businesses to get all of us to agree on one game. Right. That's how strong it is. On a daily package, you're getting my picks or you're getting Jerry's picks, okay? But if you want the best of what we can put together, it's 5 or 6 guys that have been doing this for a long time. Yeah. I've been in it since 88. Jerry's been in it since 83. Yeah. Joe's been in it since 91. And not counting the other people that we don't mention on air. But so combined, consolidated, we're all agreeing on one matchup and one game and one winner against the spread. That's pretty powerful stuff. Okay, if the average person out there gets 5 or 6 of their friends and they all agree on one game, if you have the intelligence and the knowledge behind you, I would put money on that game. Yeah. You got a pretty good shot at winning. If you guys are that good and you're all agreeing on one game, I want that game. I want to know what that game is. Yeah. Well, that's what we're putting together on Saturdays and Sundays. Now, in football season, obviously, that's the heart and soul of the weekend in football. It's Saturday and Sunday. But now with college basketball,
it's every night.
It's
Monday,
every
Tuesday,
night.
Wednesday.
It's Monday through Sunday. There are opportunities where, the average person who works, 9 to 5 comes home on a Tuesday night. He's not going to sit and dissect 35 college basketball games and 10 pro basketball games. That's why people pay us. If you want to win on betting on sports, you need some help. And don't be afraid. I mean, I've had a guy have his woman call us. Yeah. I mean, don't be embarrassed. Are you kidding me?
Well, Bobby, one of our most successful is a girl, Stephanie from Cincinnati.
But point being is, men, don't be afraid to have somebody pick your games for you. Okay, this isn't an ego thing. If you like money and you like how it feels in your hand, especially when it's brand new $100 bills, well, then get guys like us that have been doing this for a long time, have been dissecting these games. We could be legitimate odds makers if we really wanted to be, but we don't want to be on that end of the gambling business. We want to be the guys that put winners in people's pockets. So it's high risk, let's face it. It's very risky when I tell somebody to bet $10,000 on a game because I know I got more than that on the game.
Yeah.
So I'm putting a lot of emphasis on one game, and my client is trusting me that I know what I'm doing that day. Is it a perfect science? Folks, come on now. Be realistic. It's not a perfect science, okay? But you're giving yourself an opportunity to make money with people that have done this for a long time. So you got a lot better shot at winning with me than you do with your buddy sitting at the bar telling you that, I like Denver because John Elway is going to win and ride off into the sunset as a winner.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, well, that's one interesting way of looking at it. But I wouldn't put more than $5 on that. There's a lot going into tomorrow's big game. And again, there's a lot going into our $80,000 bankroll games, which are starting today with college basketball. And I can tell you right now, the odds makers, they did a good job last week of matching up the odds next to the games, because I'm looking at all the games from last week, and I can say that the odds makers did a pretty good job. But today, they've done a lousy job. The odds are way off because they're all focused. All the money this weekend is focused on the Super Bowl. So there's going to be a lot of action today that's going to look upside down to the average bettor. And that's what I'm saying. For the guys out there that have done this and they're not doing it very well lately, you should call us. For the people that have been listening to this show and really aren't sure what we're talking about, you should be calling us also. Everybody should be calling us because we're going to have a killer weekend, and it starts today, 888-484-4626.
And folks, we have a package for everybody. I mean, if you're a small bettor, we got the $99 special for the weekend. If you bet $100 a game, you could get on board and see what we're made out of. $99 for the weekend. How could you go wrong? I mean, and then $3.99 for the month. You can't even buy a bagel and a cup of coffee at Starbucks every day for $399 for the month. So, again, you're going to get a pick every day and the Super Bowl parlay for free. And the bankroll games, which we work on a percentage on those. But again, as Bobby said, those are our best games. The bankroll games is the best information. I mean, what would you rather do? Bet the game on your own? Or would you rather bet somebody's games that have been doing this for 25 years? Listen, my wife had to get her gallbladder out a couple of weeks ago. I had to take her to the hospital. I didn't try to remove her gallbladder by myself because that would be silly. I mean, that would be absolutely
Because you read a good
stupid.
article. Well,
Yeah, because I read a good article in Medical Journal.
Right, you watched CSI the other night.
So I'm going to go and remove her gallbladder. That's ridiculous. Okay, but don't try to. A surgeon shouldn't try to do our job. A surgeon should be removing gallbladders or doing surgery. This is what I do for a living.
And we have a lot of doctors.
And we have a lot of doctors that come on board for us. But again, the only difference between a big player and a small player is a few winners.
That's it.
I had a guy down to his last $500 that I hit 13 games in a row for the guy. And at the end of the season, the guy, Rick from Massachusetts,
Beautiful story,
he
man.
turned $500 into over $200,000 from October through the Super Bowl. I mean, and he couldn't believe it. He said to me, he was on the show with us a couple of times, and he said to me, Jerry, if I wasn't watching this happen, I wouldn't believe it. If you told me that this was going on, I wouldn't believe it. He says, only because I'm seeing it with my own eyes do I believe it. So, folks, if it sounds too good to be true, it's not. Trust me. Give us a call and let us put our money where our mouth is. 888-484-G-MAN, 888-484-4626. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back in a few minutes. But before we do, number one, if you missed a show or any part of the show and you want to listen to it its entirety, you can go to the website, www.jerrywins.com, www.jerrywins.com. You could get my guaranteed pick on the website, $99, game must win, your money back, www.jerrywins.com. But folks, the most important thing to do is to call us. You're getting the best games when you pick up the phone and you call us. You're getting a one-on-one conversation. You're not getting a machine or a text message or anything like that. I'm talking to you. Bobby's talking to you. Joe's talking to you. One of my other consultants are talking to you. And we're walking you through this from A to Z. Whether you've been betting for 20 years or 20 days or no days, we will walk you through it like you're a beginner, and we will teach you how to make money betting on sports. But you need to call us. Again, I have 3 free winners for today. If you just want free winners, call us. We're 66% on our free picks. We got the winner at Kansas, TCU, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Stanford, California. If you're one of the first 100 callers, you're going to get the Thunder Warriors game. All 4 games are free. You just got to pick up the phone, 888-484-G-MAN, 888-484-4626. We have also a couple of specials. The weekend, For $99, you get all our college and pro basketball for this weekend and the winner of the Super Bowl game in total, the parlay. That's $99. Or if you want a month for $3.99, that breaks down a lot cheaper. Breaks down to about $15 a day or $13 a day. Call up and ask for the $3.99 special. $399 will get you a month of service, and it'll get you the Super Bowl parlay as a bonus. So you'll get everything for a month for $399, including the Super Bowl game in total tomorrow, which we've hit 6 out of the last 7 years. But you need to call us. Again, the number is 888-484-G-MAN. Last but not least, the bankroll games. If you want the $80,000 bankroll games and you want to make 8 times your money this weekend, use code 777 when you call us. And again, we're down to $500. This is the last week for that because after that, it's going to be too busy. $500. You get our bankroll games this weekend, and we'll turn $500 into $4,000. We'll turn $2,500 into $20,000, or $10 into $80,000. If you want the bankroll games, you'll be speaking directly with me, Joe, or Bobby. Use code 777 when you call in, 888-484-G-MAN, 888-484-4626. Again, code 777, and we'll get you on the bankroll games. You're listening to the Sports Advisors, and we'll be right back.
Sideline Swami, the nation's newest, most exciting fantasy sports league, with some of the highest payouts in the industry, is coming soon. The first 500 people to go to the site and sign up for over $25,000 in grand prize baseball contest winnings will get free entry. Go to www.sideline-swami coming now and claim your free entry voucher, a $200 value. That's right, a $200 voucher. Absolutely free. That's SidelineSwami.com. Go now.
I'm Jerry Hendel of the Sports Advisors, the only 3-time winner of the Las Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Contest. I want all listeners to give me a call right now. I have a game today that will not lose. You heard me right. It will not lose. If you're tired of losing and you want to make money, give me a call right now. I have a game that will not lose. My number is 1-888-484-4626. That's 1-888-484-4626. 1-888-484-4626. Give me a call. We're here all day. Operators are standing by. And as I said, I have a game that will not lose. You call me and get this game, I will guarantee this game against the rest of the season. This game must win, or I'll give you the rest of the season absolutely free. Give me a call for this winner right now. The number is 1-888-484-4626. 1-888-484-4626.
Only one has ever won the Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Challenge more than once. His name is Jerry Hendel, and he has won it 3 times. Not once, but 3 times. No one else has ever done that. Jerry Hendel is America's best. And right now he's going to show you how strong his information is and what has made him a winner. He will give you absolutely free a selection on one of this weekend's games. Get it by calling 888-484-4626. There's no obligation, no cost, no bull. It's free. Even the call is free. 888-484-4626. Get your free selection with absolutely no cost or obligation from America's best. Again, the only 3-time winner of the Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Challenge, Jerry Hendel. 888-484-4626 and 888-484-4626. Call Jerry now and start winning ways with Jerry Hendel.
Hello, this is Bobby Edwards getting back to you from the Sports Advisors. We have been on fire since week 1, and I want everybody to pick up the phone and call us. I have a big underdog that's going to happen tonight. Going to be one of my best underdogs of the year. You're going to pick up the phone and call us at 888-484-4626. That's 888-484-4626. My underdogs right now are hitting 65%. If you're out there and you're losing on your own, all you need to do again is pick up the phone. I'll have a big underdog tonight, and I can tell you right now, this is an underdog that's going to win outright. Pick up the phone and call us 888-484-4626. But make sure you do yourselves a favor. If you're gambling on your own and you're not making any money, pick up the phone 888-484-4626. I have a huge underdog that I'm looking at tonight that's going to win outright. 888-484-4626.
And we're back. You're listening to the Sports Advisors, the nation's #1 sports investment firm. I'm your host, 3-time Las Vegas Sporting News Handicapping champion, I'm Jerry Hendel. I'm joined in the studio by Bobby Edwards. Bobby's our underdog king and Big East specialist. Bobby owns underdogs, and he's got a big underdog this weekend we're going to talk about in a little while. But before we get to the show, folks, I want everybody to pick up the phone and call us this week. Football, after tomorrow, is just about over. Let's make some money in basketball. Basketball is the best sport to make money in. Bookies cringe. The bookmakers in Vegas cringe when they hear college basketball because they know that the public has a shot at winning in college basketball. That's why they limit you what you could bet on college basketball. That's why a Vegas casino will take $40,000 or $50,000 on an NFL game. But if you ever tried to get that on a college basketball game, they would laugh you out of the casino because they just won't take it because they're deathly afraid of college basketball. Start making money today. If you're getting a tax check, back from the government, put that free money to work. But let's start making money. Now, before we get to the show, I need everybody to call. Right now, I got four free winners today. 3 college basketball winners, and I got a game of the week in the NBA that goes free to the first 100 callers. I'm going to give all callers the winner of Kansas TCU, Cincinnati Memphis, Stanford, California, and as I said before, the first 100 callers will get the winner of Oklahoma City, Golden State. And that's our college game, pro game of the week. 4-0, absolutely free. Even the phone call is free. Call us right now at 1-888-484-4626. 888-484-G-MAN. 1-888-484-G-MAN. Give us a call right now for 4 free winners. Also, we got a couple of great specials. In honor of Super Bowl weekend, we're going to give you the whole weekend for $99. If you're a small player and you just want to see a small sample of what we have, $99 for the weekend. You'll get all our basketball for this weekend, plus the winner of the Super Bowl 50 and the over and under, the parlay for free. So that's $99 for the entire weekend, including the Super Bowl. We also got a $3.99 special for a month of basketball. $3.99. Actually, I'll give the rest of the season in college basketball. The rest of the season in college basketball, $399. And you'll get the Super Bowl parlay for free. When I say rest of the season, that's not including March Madness. That's the rest of the regular season for $3.99. There's a little over a month left. So you'll get that, plus the Super Bowl parlay, $399. And also the $80,000 bankroll games. If you have at least a nickel to play, $500, you can get on our bankroll games. When you call us, use code 777. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe, and we'll get you on the $80,000 bankroll games, our best games. Code 777 at 888-484-G-MAN, and we'll get you on the $80,000 bankroll games. But you need to call us, folks. It's time to start making money. As we said in the last segment, Bobby, it seems like sports betting is recession-proof because it's going up $5 billion every year. Every year, the take is going up $5 billion. And that's just in Las Vegas. That's not including all the offshore casinos.
Oh, yeah, that number would probably double, Jerry. And that's we're talking about billion, not million. We're talking about billions of dollars.
We're just trying to get you a small piece of the pie.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at what? For the year 2015, $149 billion was wagered on sports.
Wow.
And that's from the American Gaming Association. That's not like you and I sitting there counting nickels and pennies.
Right.
We're talking about, a legitimate association that actually, figures this stuff out. So, I mean, you're talking about really big numbers here. I mean, when you're talking about, tomorrow there's going to be, $4.2 billion that was wagered on last year's Super Bowl. They're looking at an 8% increase from last year. So you're talking about some pretty big numbers here. And that's just one game, right? That's just tomorrow's Super Bowl.
Right.
So there's a lot of action being put down on this game. Legally, we know what the numbers are. Illegally, who knows what the numbers are. I mean, local bookies, offshore accounts, and this offshore stuff it's kind of gray. I mean, listen, we talk about it, but there's a lot of people out there that bet online.
Well, they have gambling licenses over there.
Yeah, they, listen, we know people that, have online companies, whether they're in Costa Rica or Curacao, wherever they are.
England.
Yeah, England, of course. So, there's billions of dollars that are being wagered. A lot of these sites started out as poker sites, right? right, Jerry?
Yeah.
That's how you kind of got involved in it.
Yeah.
And then it just expanded. I mean, you could bet horse racing, you could bet the dog track, and then obviously you could bet on sports. So, if you're interested in betting on sports, especially the Super Bowl, which is, obviously tomorrow, the hype, the 2 weeks, it's up. We've listened to all the armchair quarterbacks, us included. Everybody's got their opinion on who's going to win the game in the total, which we've, done very well at in the last 10 years. So, if you want to make money on the Super Bowl, great. We'll tell you who we like. And then also college basketball, pro basketball. So the money you're making now in the month of February is the money that you're going to really, make a lot of on top of that in March Madness. Because everybody's betting college basketball in March. If you have any thoughts about betting on sports, March Madness is a close second to football. And again, there's a lot of ways to make money, betting on sports these days. And people are doing it all over the country, right, Jerry? I mean, we talk to people on the West Coast, on the East Coast. Everybody loves to bet games. Some people aren't sure about how to go about doing it. And a lot of people bet on their own. And that's why, the casinos do pretty well in Vegas. People just kind of go there and give them their money. But if you have somebody like us in your corner with the expertise, there's no reason why you can't capitalize on our knowledge. 888-484-4626.
Yeah, and Bobby, another thing is everybody thinks because the public is betting Carolina up until now that they're going to bet Denver and go against the public. You don't really know if you're against the public yet, and I'll tell you why. The line opened up at 3. So anybody that's going to bet Carolina looks at that line and they jump all over Carolina. Right. If you're going to bet Denver in that game, you haven't even bet it yet because you're going to wait for the line to go as high as it could go before you bet
tomorrow morning, right?
So tomorrow, not even tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, that's when all the Denver people will come out. Yeah. Once the Carolina people have driven the line up to 6.5, the Denver people will come out to bet it. So basically, we won't know who the public is betting until kickoff because anybody that's betting Denver isn't betting it yet, unless you're stupid and betting. Why would you take Denver at +3 when you know everybody's betting Carolina early on? You can wait until almost game time to get the best line.
Yeah, those people are probably betting with their hearts.
All I could say is the public right now is on Carolina and the over.
Right.
And all I could say is they're going to win one and lose one.
Exactly.
I won't say which one, but the public is not going to win Carolina and over. One of them is going to win. One of them is going to lose. Right. So that's all I could say. That's the only hint I could give you. If you want any more, you got to call us.
And if you want to bet Denver, and I'm throwing this out there, and Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, you would be smart to bet them on the money line, wouldn't you? Do you think that's a good bet?
In the last 40 years, the spreads only come into effect 8 times. In other words, if you bet the favorite and they won the game but didn't cover, that only happened 8 times. The rest of the time, if you bet the underdog, they won the game outright or they got blown out.
Right.
And the same thing with the favorite. If you bet the favorite, they won the game big or they lost outright. So only 8 times. Actually, it's 10, but 2 of them were ties. 2 of them were pushes. Right? Only 8 times in the history of the Super Bowl that you bet the favorite and they won but didn't cover the spread. It only happened 8 times out of 40.
That's a big stat when you're talking about 49 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So for those people listening, I mean, that's...
Yeah, I can tell you when it happened, too.
Those are real numbers. We're not making this stuff up. I mean, anybody could, sit down in front of their computer and figure this out, but who has the time to do that? And again, that's the nature of this show. It's an infomercial to get people to realize that if you're going to bet on sports, that you should have somebody in your corner that's knowledgeable, that's done this before, that's won a lot, that's had some losses. God knows we don't win them all, but it's important to know that we want you to win more than anybody because not only are we betting the game, but we have all our clients betting the games. So you want what we want. Everybody wants to win. So if you're going to pick sports, you're going to sit down and look at all these teams today, at least have somebody in your corner that's been doing it all week. Now, we don't have the point spreads like anybody until this morning or really late last night. So, we're kind of under the gun also to match up the point spreads to the teams and see which ones, look, interesting to us. Unlike football, we have a week to look at the game.
Right.
I mean, the Super Bowl, you've had 2 weeks to look at the game. So if you don't know who you're betting by now, you should also be calling us, 888-484-4626. Now, you're over there. You're looking up some of the Super Bowl info.
Yeah, right now, if you look it up, as I said, the spreads only come into effect 10 times, 8 times where you actually lost money. In 1976 in Miami, Pittsburgh against Dallas, Pittsburgh was favored by 7. and they won 21-17, so they only won by 4.
Right.
So if you bet Pittsburgh, you bet on the favorite, and they won, but they didn't cover the spread, so you lost money. That's one time. And then here is another one in Miami. So it must be something about the water at Florida.
Yeah.
Because 3 of them have been in Florida. Miami, San Francisco, Cincinnati, that's the Joe Montana game when he went down and drove down and scored the winning touchdown. Yeah. The John Candy game.
Yeah.
San Francisco was favored by 7,
right,
and they won by 4, 20-16. I remember I was at the game, and that was one of the few Super Bowls that I've lost because I had Frisco in that game. And then in Tempe, Arizona, Dallas-Pittsburgh in 1996, Dallas was 13.5, and they won 27-17 by 10.
Right.
So they didn't cover. And then in New Orleans the next year, Green Bay, New England, Green Bay was 14, and they won by 14. And if I remember that game correctly, most people won that game with Green Bay because some people got it at 13.5 and it closed at 14.
Right. So
some people won that game. That was kind of a middle game. I remember that game. And then, as I said, you had in Tampa, Florida in 2009, Pittsburgh was laying 7. They won by 4 against Arizona. In Glendale, Arizona, the Giants, New England. New England was 12. Oh, no, that didn't come into effect because the Giants won the game outright, so that's 1 less. So it's only 7 times now. I made a mistake there. I circled that game, and that's not the case because the Giants were the underdog by 12, but the Giants won the game outright by 3, so it didn't matter that game. That wasn't one of them.
Thanks to Placido Burress, I think. He caught the winning touchdown.
Yep. But it seems I'm also looking at something else of interesting fact, Bobby. Back in the 70s, all the totals were in the 30s. I'm looking at 40, 39,
they
36,
were low scoring,
34, 33, 33, 33, 36, 38, 39, 37, 36, 37 and a half. Then you get into the 80s, and they're in the 40s and 50s. So as technology has come in, the scoring has gone up,
right,
and the rules now are good for the offenses.
Right.
So now the teams are starting to score more.
Yeah.
Football engineered themselves to have higher scoring games, and you could just see it if you look at the lines.
Just look at the Super Bowls.
Yeah, the over and unders.
I mean, the Super Bowl, looking at each and every year since 1967, really tells you a lot about the ebb and flow of football, NFL, and how it's changed. For the defense, for the offense. I mean, let's face it. It's almost like you want to see a lot of scoring, and you look at some of the numbers in some of these games, and you've had some unders, but last year was an over, the year before was an over, before that was an over. Then it seems like when the Giants play, it's an under all the time.
Yeah.
Then over, under. So, I mean, you get your fair share. But, listen, people love high-scoring games. I mean, so do we. I'd like to see high-scoring games.
I'm a defensive guy.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch a baseball game, a 1-0 final, and watch the pitcher strike out like 20 batters. Yeah. I like defensive games, and but most of the public don't like that. I'm against the public. Most of the public, they like scoring and they like excitement. So they go for I'd rather see a defensive get down in the mud and fight it out.
But you like money, and that's what this is about. This is about betting on sports, folks. So, we can sit here and talk about all the great Super Bowls of the last 50 years. And obviously tomorrow's going to be, we hope it's going to be a great game. I'm sure there's always something interesting that happens with these Super Bowls. When you're considering, 1 out of 5 people on the planet are going to be watching the game. So, it should be a great game. The weather should be fine. Obviously, Peyton Manning could be his last game. You don't know.
I think it will be.
Cam Newton has had his share of controversy in the last couple of weeks. There's always some race thing going on. The CEO always says something that, has some kind of a race flavor to it. But, that's just, that's the name of the game. Everybody's got a microphone, pointed at you, and you're not going to say the right thing.
He plays like a guy with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he does. And
that's actually good for the Panthers.
And this year it's worked out for him. So, they're healthy. He's been healthy all year. Listen, everybody's nicked up at this time of the year, but again, this tomorrow's going to be a great matchup. But in the meantime, though, if you want to make some real good money, college basketball's the way to go. We got some great games today and tonight. 888-484-4626.
And folks, for the whole year, we've been hitting 2 out of 3 on the free picks. So even if you don't do anything, at least just call up for the free picks, and we'll get you on the free picks. You don't know unless you pick up the phone and call us. As Bobby said, the number's 888-484-4626. Give us a call. Even the call is free. And, folks, don't expect a recorded message. I mean, I don't know about you folks out there. I guess I'm an old fogey, but I'm kind of old school. When I call somebody up, I want to talk to somebody at the other end. I don't want to push 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish. Don't press, it's amazing. I want to talk to somebody when I call. I want somebody on the phone. And we do that. I have somebody here 7 days a week, 12 hours a day answering the phones. So you're not going to talk to a recording. You're going to talk to one of us, and we're going to walk you through this from A to Z. So again, give us a call. And like I said, one of my consultants will call you back, and they'll walk you through everything from A to Z. So if whether you know everything about betting or nothing about it, give us a call. We could teach old dogs new tricks, and we could also, treat, young dogs new tricks. So, again, you got to give us a call. Let us show you what it's all about. 888-484-4626 is the number. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give all callers 3 winners for calling. You're going to get the winner of Kansas, TCU, Cincinnati, Memphis, and then Stanford, California. If you're one of the first 100 callers, you're also going to get the game of the week in the NBA, the Thunder Warriors tonight. That's 4-0, absolutely free. The phone call is even free. Call us at 888-484-G-MAN, 888-484-4626. Also, we got the $99 special. If you want that, just tell a girl I'm calling for the $99 special. You'll get this entire weekend for $99, and we'll throw in the parlay on the Super Bowl tomorrow. Game and over-under. I've won it 6 out of the last 7 years. Again, $99 for the weekend. All you got to do is ask for it. And then last but not least, if you want to get your feet wet and play for a month, you'll get a game a day for a month. Basketball the rest of the season, $399 for the rest of the basketball season. And also we'll throw in the Super Bowl game in total with that. Again, ask for the $399 special at 888-484-4626. And as I said, last but not least, the bankroll games, our best games. Use code 777. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe. We'll get you on the bankroll games. Code 777. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe. 888-484-G-MAN is the number. You're listening to the Sports Advisors, and we'll be right back.
Sideline Swami, the nation's newest, most exciting fantasy sports league, with some of the highest payouts in the industry, is coming soon. The first 500 people to go to the site and sign up for over $25,000 in grand prize baseball contest winnings will get free entry. Go to www.sidelineswami, coming now, and claim your free entry voucher, a $200 value. That's right, a $200 voucher. Absolutely free. That's sidelineswami.com. Go now.
I'm Jerry Hendel of the Sports Advisors, the only 3-time winner of the Las Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Contest. And we are on fire here at the Sports Advisors. I want all listeners to give me a call right now. I have a game today that will not lose. You heard me right. It will not lose. If you're tired of losing and you want to make money, give me a call right now. I have a game that will not lose. My number is 1-888-484-4626. That's 1-888-484-4626. 1-888-484-4626. Give me a call. We're here all day. Operators are standing by. And as I said, I have a game that will not lose. You call me and get this game, I will guarantee this game against the rest of the season. This game must win, or I'll give you the rest of the season absolutely free. Give me a call for this winner right now. The number is 1-888-484-4626. 1-888-484-4626.
Only one has ever won the Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Challenge more than once. His name is Jerry Hendel, and he has won it 3 times. Not once, but 3 times. No one else has ever done that. Jerry Hendel is America's best. And right now he's going to show you how strong his information is and what has made him a winner. He will give you absolutely free a selection on one of this weekend's games. Get it by calling 888-484-4626. There's no obligation, no cost, no bull. It's free. Even the call is free. 888-484-4626. Get your free selection with absolutely no cost or obligation from America's best. Again, the only 3-time winner of the Vegas Sporting News Handicapping Challenge, Jerry Hendel. 888-484-4626 and 888-484-4626. Call Jerry now and start winning ways with Jerry Hendel.
And we're back. You're listening to the Sports Advisors, the nation's #1 sports investment firm. I'm your host, I'm Jerry Hendel. I'm joined in the studio by Bobby Edwards. Bobby's our underdog king. He's our Big East specialist. Bobby's on fire with underdogs, and we're going to talk about a couple of his nice underdogs that he had last weekend. But before we get back to the show, I want all listeners to pick up the phone and give us a call right now for 3 free winners today. All callers are going to get the winner of Kansas, TCU, Cincinnati, Memphis, and Stanford, California. All college basketball winners, 3-0. And if you're one of the first 100 callers, you're going to get Bobby's NBA Game of the Week, the Thunder Warriors, 4-0, absolutely free. The phone call is even free, 888-484-4626. 888-484-4626. 888-484-G-Man is the number. Give us a call for 4 free winners. Folks, it is Saturday, February 6th. It is Super Bowl weekend, and we got lots of great specials here. Number one, we got a $3.99 special. Just this weekend, you want to get your feet wet? $99, for the weekend. For $99, you get the entire weekend plus the Super Bowl game in total free. If you want the weekend for $99, just ask the girl for the $99 special. We got $3.99 for the rest of the college basketball season, which is about a month more. It's $399 for the rest of the season, and we'll throw in the Super Bowl game in total free. All right, so that's a big value right there since we've hit the Super Bowl game in total 6 out of the last 7 years. Just ask for the $399 special, and you got a little over a month of service in basketball. Last but not least, the bankroll games. If you want the $80,000 bankroll games, we have a $500 special this month. If you have as little as $500 to play and you want to make 8 times your money this weekend, use code 777 when you call us, 888-484-4626. You will speak to me, Bobby, or Joe, and we'll get you on the bankroll games. Code 777 gets you the $80,000 bankroll games. Once again, the number to call, 888-484-G-Man. 888-484-4626. Also, you can listen to this radio show in its entirety. Go to the website, www.jerrywins.com. www.jerrywins.com. While you're there, I have my guaranteed pickup. $99, you get the pick. Must win or your money back. www.jerrywins.com. And Bobby, speaking of bankroll games and underdogs, I forgot to mention earlier in the show, congratulations on your big winner last week. I think it was Virginia, +6 against Louisville, beat them by 16.
Oh,
that was a nice underdog you had last week.
Yeah, I didn't foresee that, but I thought Virginia would, really, hang in there.
You said they'd be a live dog.
Yeah, I said, listen, when I say that means that Virginia has an opportunity to beat a team like Louisville, even at Louisville, where they've had success. So getting 6 points, winning by 16.
Yeah.
That's some magical stuff. And, we're going to have magic like that today, folks. So if you want to see games like that for the next couple of months, I mean, let's face it, each win now in basketball is just going to make your bankroll that much bigger. So, if you've been playing on your own and not doing well, games like, Virginia over Louisville, will definitely help your financial situation. So if you want to make money doing, as well as we do as far as picking the games against the spread, that's what this show is about. So we've been doing the show since September 9th, I think was the first official show that we had. And that was way back in football season. So, we're still trucking along here, folks, week in and week out. All right. We're putting out there that, hey, we're handicappers, if that's what you want to call us, but we're also gambling on these games. Nothing excites me more than putting $5 or $10 grand on a game and knowing that by halftime, I'm a winner and so are my clients. So if you want to feel what it's like to make that kind of money in a 2-hour basketball game, pick up the phone and let us show you how to get it done. There's plenty of places where you can bet these games. Obviously the state of Nevada, everywhere you go, you can bet. There's online gambling where, millions of people are betting online. It's a huge industry, billions of dollars. We spoke about it early in the show. And that's, there's legal money that they can keep track of. That's the American Gaming Association. So we're talking about, getting, money that's, taken by the local bookies or even offshore. But listen, there's a lot of ways to make money doing this and by doing it the right way. And that's what we're showing people how to do. 888-484-4626 is the number to get a hold of us. We got a $99 special for the weekend. So you're getting the action today. You're getting, our pick for tomorrow's Super Bowl and total. So, there's a lot of ways to make money. $99 is not that much, especially if you're betting on your own. You know how $99, that's one loss. All right. So, instead of losing on your own, pay us. Let us pick the games for you. Put your pride to the side, like we like to say, and let us do the hard work for you. Because this is hard work, Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
You and I are sitting here looking at these games. There's a lot to go over here. So we have help. We have people outside our company that, will call us and say, hey, Bobby, did you take a look at this line? This team, arrived late. They just got there. They're going to have barely enough time to warm up. I mean, these things happen in life, especially in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
So you have teams that are crossing the nation, whether they're flying, whether they're going by bus. Things happen with travel time. Some of these teams don't get a chance to warm up. They go out there. They're cold. All right. And they don't ever get in the game until it's too late. So, knowing that information, ahead of time is valuable, very valuable.
Very valuable.
Anybody could look at two teams and look at the spread and say, oh, I like that game. Well, did you know that, the coach of the team got suspended and he's not actually going to be able to be on the bench today? There's going to be an assistant coach, and the last time that happened when there was a replacement coach, the team lost by 30. Or they rebounded with the backup coach and they won by 30. So, again, there's a lot of variables that go into picking these games. And unless you're sitting where we are, it's going to be very tough to navigate and dissect all these games today. Tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday. Start today. Start by making some great money in college basketball. Our $80,000 bankroll games are going to be what? 2 college basketball games.
Yeah.
One today, one tonight. And then we're going to end it
tomorrow.
And then a game tomorrow. So, if you like money, and I'm telling you right now, everybody likes money. There's no reason why you shouldn't be calling us, making money on these games. It's affordable for everybody. 888-484-4626.
And I have one thing to say, Bobby. By the time the Super Bowl game kicks off tomorrow, the $80,000 bankroll winners will already be done with their bankroll.
They've already gotten their 3-0.
They've already got their 3-0 by the time the Super Bowl kicks at 6:30 tomorrow Eastern time.
All right, that makes a lot of sense because looking at the schedule, we know today it's flooded with college basketball and some great NBA games, and then obviously tomorrow before the big game kicks off at 6:30 p.m. East Coast time, it'll be West Coast. It'll only be 3:30 out there in Santa Clara. You're going to be looking at some great matchups tomorrow. So there's not a lot of games.
How many times do we kick the books' asses before the Super Bowl even kicks off? We got our 3 winners every year.
The Sunday before the Super Bowl, and tomorrow you got some great matchups. So you're going to see, some pretty good games, some worthy opponents playing each other. And I can tell you right now, we will definitely pick one of these games that is going to be, in my estimation, is going to be an easy winner. The odds makers are going to have their job done as far as looking at the Super Bowl. So not a lot of games tomorrow. All we need is one big winner, and we're going to have it for you.
888-484-4626 is a number. Give us a call. And also, we're in the last segment right now. I want to explain my bankroll games once again. Folks, I mean, you guys that are listening to the show every week, you ought to be calling us by now. I mean, you're listening to us every week, parading guys on the show that talk about how much money they made. This should be you on the show this week. And the biggest regret people say, Bobby, when they call and sign up with us, after they see what we're all about, they regret that they didn't call us earlier, that they waited a year.
Oh, yeah, they've been listening for 6 months or,
Yeah.
I mean, that happens all the time. I mean,
money is going by.
Yeah, most of the clients that come on board have listened to the show at least 3 times.
Yeah. I can't pick up the phone for you, folks. You need to pick up the phone and call us in order to get on the winners. You have to call us before we can do anything for you. But again, the bankroll games, those are our best games. Those are the games that, I'm betting on, that Bobby's betting on. These are the games that keep us up at night, figuring out the winners of these games. And as I said, these are games that everybody agrees on. These are the games that we have the top information on. Anyway, you would take a $10,000 investment, bet it on the first game last week, Florida minus 1.5 over West Virginia, 88-71. The first score I saw in that game was like 20-4. They were killing them. So again, you would turn 10 into 20 on the first game. And then at night, Arizona minus 11 over Oregon State. They win by 17. So there's 2. 20 turns into 40. Sunday, Detroit minus 3 over Wright State. 75-68, a 7-point winner. And now your 40 becomes 80. That's the type of information you're going to get this weekend. You will turn 10,000 into 80,000. If you have 5, I'll turn it into 40. If you have 1,000, I'll turn it into 8,000. And this weekend only, if you have as little as $500, I'll turn it into $4,000. You'll make 8 times your money no matter how much you start with. Again, 888-484-4626 is the number. 888-484-G-MAN. Use code 777. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe, and we will get you on the bankroll games, and we will walk you through it. And, Bobby, another thing is, people always say, well, I never bet before. How do I do this? Mm-hmm. We can walk you through it. There's a million places online. If you have a computer or a telephone, you can get these games in. If you Google sports betting, you'll find 100 places. If you need a reliable place, we know all the reliable ones. But again, folks, our preparation reduces your risk. I have a doctor, Bobby, that did the gastric bypass surgery on me 5 years ago.
Right.
Was it 5? No, 2010. It's 6 years already.
6 years, wow.
I was 330 pounds, and he wanted me to stick around a while because I was making him so much money. He did my bypass surgery for free. One of the top doctors in the country. He's out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, flew up to New York and did the gastric bypass on me. And now I'm 165 pounds, so my name is not Fats anymore.
Nope.
And again, this guy did a phenomenal job operating on me. I walked away the operation was on a Monday. By Thursday, I was up and running around. I mean, he did a fantastic job. Can't say enough about him. I would not take a knife and cut my belly open and try to tie a couple of tubes to give myself the bypass surgery. And by the same token, he's been betting my games for 10 years, so he knows that I know my business. Some things in life, Bobby, you have to know what you know and also know what you don't know.
Yeah, and that's what kills me about guys who have their wives call, and I respect that. I mean, listen, it is what it is, but seriously, listen, guys, there's a lot of guys out there that that pick games and they're not very good at it. So if you need to have your girlfriend or your wife or your significant other call us to get involved in this, that's fine. But there's a lot of people out there that just want to start winning. So that's what we're talking about here. We're going to practice what we preach, and we're going to put some winners on the table today. Are you going to be involved, or are you going to sit back and watch, all your friends who call us brag about how much money they've been making? 888-484-4626. It's Super Bowl weekend, folks. And listen, it's going to be a great game tomorrow. But before that game, we're coming up with 3 solid winners starting today.
Yeah, again, 888-484-G-Man is the number. And folks, if you say you have no money, all years of getting tax checks back, you can put that to work.
Right.
Uncle Sam is sending you some free money. Instead of buying a Ford
TV
Focus or something, bet our games and buy yourself a Aventador Lamborghini or something.
Yeah, let's make some real money.
Yeah, make some real money. Again, we will show you how to do it. 888-484-4626. That's the number. And give us a call. Let us make you some money. And as I said, there's a lot of money to be made. And some of our most successful customers, Bobby, have been women. Like Stephanie from Cincinnati. She turned $5,000 into $500,000, moved to Vegas, and now she just bets 7 figures. No, what's 100,000? 6 figures?
6 figures.
6 figures a game.
Right.
And she has some girls that out there, and they run around and bet for her. And she's making nothing but money. Like I said, some of our most successful people know nothing about sports betting. But you know what? They don't know how to lose either because they don't have the bad habits that the losers have.
No, and they keep their money. That's the important thing. Listen, winning is one thing, but keeping that money is very important. So, we've sat at the craps tables, you and I, Jerry, and we've seen a lot of people win a lot of money and then give it all back.
Yeah.
I'm not like that. You're not like that. I like to win my money and get out of Dodge. So, that's why I'm in the sports business because, there's so many ways that you can make money. And let's face it, out of the gate, you got a 50-50 shot with us. Let's face it, we're trying to make it as close to 70-30 on a regular basis.
Right.
Don't get us wrong. There are games that we like that we say are 99.9%. I don't want to jinx it with 100%. But if you're listening to this show, it's Super Bowl weekend. College basketball, which is as big as football pretty much. It's a close second. All right. You want to start getting involved? Now's the time. February money goes into March. March money, we start making money on baseball, NBA. We're making money on NBA. Nobody's really paying attention, but we're killing it in the NBA.
Yeah, baseball season too, which is coming up soon.
That's coming up also. So 888-484-4626 is the number to call. Let's start making money. It's Super Bowl weekend, folks.
Okay, folks, again, you guys work hard for your money. You guys drive trucks. You guys do lawyers. You guys are doctors. You guys do what you do very well, and you do a lot of it. You're putting in 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You can't just sit down for 5 minutes and pick games. It's not going to work. Let our preparation reduce your risk. This is all we do for a living, and let us show you how good we are at it. That concludes our show for today. Good luck watching the Super Bowl tomorrow. I'd hate to sound cliché, but don't drink and drive. Get home safe and make some money at the same time. Again, all listeners should be calling right now for 3 free winners. Kansas TCU, Cincinnati, Memphis, Stanford, California. For also the first 100 callers, you're going to get the Thunder Warriors game, which is our NBA game of the week. Give us a call and get that one free. 4-0 free. 888-484-4626. 888-484-G-MAN. 4 free winners. Call for them right now. The $80,000 bankroll games, use code 777. You'll speak to me, Bobby, or Joe, and we'll get you on the bankroll games. Again, code 777 for the bankroll games. And we got the 2 specials, $99 for the weekend. Give us a call. Ask for the $99 special. You'll get the entire weekend plus the Super Bowl game in total. The parlay is free. $99 for the weekend. Ask for the $99 special. Last but not least, we got the $3.99 special. You'll get the rest of the college basketball season for $3.99, and you'll get the Super Bowl parlay for free with that. Again, ask for the $3.99 special when you call us at 888-484-G-MAN. Last but not least, you can go to the website. Go to www.jerrywins.com. Listen to this radio show in its entirety. www.jerrywins.com. Folks, give us a call. Stay safe for the Super Bowl weekend. 888-484-G-MAN is the number. Give us a call. Operators are standing by. Thanks for listening to the Sports Advisors.